I keep getting the question of what is an isotope? Isotopes are atoms of the same element that have different masses. In other words, they have different numbers of neutrons. So I want to tell you some things about my dog. My dog's name is Biscuit. On a normal day where he's acting completely normal, eating fine, doing the things he normally does, he eats 2 bowls of food. And I don't remember how much he weighs. I'm just going to say arbitrarily that he weighs 25 pounds on a normal day. But there are some days where my dog just doesn't eat. Maybe he's distracted, maybe his food doesn't smell good to him, maybe he's sick. And on those days, maybe he doesn't eat anything at all. And if I were to weigh him on those days, he might weigh a little bit less because his caloric intake and how much he's moving may not be at an equilibrium there. So maybe he weighs a little bit less. But there are also other days where my dog goes to town on eating. And he'll sit under my son's high chair. And not only will he eat his 2 bowls a day, he'll also eat any scraps he can possibly get. Maybe he'll eat a little bit of pizza. Maybe he'll eat some broccoli. Maybe he'll eat, like, important things that he's not supposed to eat. And if I were to weigh him on those days, maybe he weighs 26 pounds because he gained a pound of the extra stuff he probably shouldn't have eaten. Okay? So there's something different about my dog all these days. His weight is different, right? Some days he's skinnier, some days he's more chunky. But is my dog the same dog? Yes, his name's Biscuit. He's the same every single day in terms of who he is. But his weight is different. That is what an isotope is in terms of atoms. Okay? And isotopes are found in nature. You can have multiple different atoms of one element that weigh different amounts simply because they have more or less neutrons. So here's an example. Nitrogen can sometimes weigh 14. Sometimes nitrogen can weigh 15. Okay? We know from the periodic table, and you can go verify this, I promise I'm telling you the truth, that nitrogen has an atomic number of 7, which means that it has 7 protons. And these protons are found in the nucleus of the atom. In that nucleus are also things called neutrons. These neutrons have a big mass, comparatively, just like protons do. So when we talk about a mass number, it's kind of like talking about my dog's weight, okay? It's saying, hey, how heavy is this atom? So for nitrogen 14, we know that it weighs 14. And we know that that weight consists of the 7 protons plus however many neutrons there are. And in nitrogen 15, we know that in nitrogen 15, the mass is 15 AMU. And because it's still nitrogen, we know that there's still 7 protons. But again, we know that some of the neutrons, or all the neutrons, are contributing to that 15 AMU. So in order to find out how many neutrons are in an isotope, we just have to subtract our protons from our mass number. So for nitrogen 14, we'll find out that we have 7 neutrons. But in nitrogen 15, we find out that we have 8 neutrons. Even though they are the exact same identity, right? They're the same element. They're the same nitrogen. It's just that it happens that one atom is more heavy than the other atom. And that is called an isotope.